Okay.
Welcome. Listen, there's a lot of dust being kicked up on the Serengeti right now. Welcome to another episode of History Hyenas. It is 100% chaos and fucking wild in here. We just ate Nora Cupcakes Company's cake. They made it. You, if you listened to the last episode, you heard all about it. Look, there's no mystery. We did two in the same day. Okay, I know you feel. I know you're like, hey, Serge is still there, and although he's wearing a hat, it doesn't exactly look like an outfit change because he's got the same shirt on, and you see that I look the same, and Emoji Faces is exactly the same weight. So this is the same day. We're doing back-to-back because next week we got crazy schedules. Chris is going to Vegas. I'm coming back from San Antonio. And whatever's happening, we're doing back-to-back. And we got our guests. We got fucking 7 guests right now. There's just a bunch of people in the room. We got the Nora Cupcake ladies are still here. Thank you. That was amazing.
Thank you.
And yeah, I don't know what's happening right now, but my whole body's tingling. Is that bad? You deal with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's called the sugar tingles.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Yeah, I feel like I took a blast. I'm like this. Anyone got a cigarette? I feel like I need a cigarette after that cupcake.
I mean, there may have been something special in there, but
Yeah.
You guys see, I'm not. Ooh.
yeah, I may need a little CBD script oil to calm down. We just took our blood sugar right now is through the fucking roof because we just had a piece of the part 2 pseudo penis. What would we call that? Pseudo penis cake doigt?
yeah, or cake on the Serengeti. I mean,
Cake on the
you know.
Serengeti. You've been doing this a little while. Look how good that was. She was like, she
Confident,
came up with a name,
smooth.
confident. I was like, pseudo cake doigt. Cake on the
finesse that a little.
Serengeti. Nice. So listen, those slices were those weren't small slices we just ate.
Hefty. Yeah.
Those were hefty. The cake was delicious. So not only did it look good and wild, because like it looked good to us, but if you showed that to a bride, she'd be
No.
like, "Are you fucking serious? There's fucking blood and hyenas on there. There's no way I'm fucking eating that. Plus, I gotta fucking go box with Serge in 45 minutes. Okay, I gotta go to Overthrow and fucking deal with Serge. I fucking love boxing with Serge because he's so cool. It's mostly him. Like, it's a great workout, but it's mostly him. Fuck yeah, you should try it. And then we could go get margaritas in Bryant Park afterwards. Yeah.
No, they stay in the Lower East Side.
Lower East Side, yeah.
Yeah, they'll go for drinks at Ghost Donkey
Ghost Donkey.
or some shit like that.
Yeah, yeah. You get some of the. They're probably well-to-do girls. They're
Yeah.
well-to-do.
They all do jobs I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Like I do PR.
Yeah, I
For
do.
what?
Yeah, I do PR.
Fuck.
Yeah, they all do that. It's like, yeah, I do PR. I stand in a stand.
I love them all. Actually, there's a lot of good energy that goes to those stores. But every now and then
You just remembered you can't be talking publicly like that because it's your business.
Hey, I was like, yo,
I can't-
honestly, no, it's all good. But I just hate when people come in and you got to wrap their hands for boxing, right? To protect your knuckles and wrists. People ask, why do you have to wrap your hands? For you to protect your knuckles and wrists.
Yeah.
But sometimes they come in like this. Like these other wraps, they come like this. And I'm like, what the and it's like a knot. It's just like they bringing me dreadlocks.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, you expect me to untangle that shit? And like, I don't know, I just watched that.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm here because of your personality, Serge.
And then I like untangling it, looking to the side, like with question marks above their head, like.
Yeah. Yo, I told you, boxing has become like, it's like so in fashion to work out doing boxing. We're going to open a gym.
Why don't you come to a session? He boxed me once,
No, we're going to open a gym.
and he didn't come back.
Everyone's doing it for a workout. because it's like 2-in-1. You know, you get to work out, plus you know to throw hands a little bit, so then you could mouth off to the wrong person, get beat up. It's gonna happen to you, Chris. It's gonna happen to you.
Yo, he's confident.
He's
like,
too confident. You're
yo,
not that good. Your hands are slow.
He's talking mad shit.
You got no rhythm. You look tense. You're gonna get beat up. Most fights end up on the ground anyway. You're gonna die. I'm just doing what he would usually do. We missed Chris 2 in a row. He's just drunk in Nantucket right now. But we got our man Elvis, who's finally made it to the East Coast. What's up? I think we're past our Mexican quota in here, though. We only got 1. Now we got 2. So welcome, man. And Christian Polanco. Come on, yeah, hop on. Why not? Fucking let's, Jesus Christ, we got a lot of guests today. This is like, you know what, dude? Now let's just talk over each other and scream.
Exactly. How's it going, everybody?
Good. How you doing, Christian?
I haven't seen
Polanco?
you all, Yannis.
I know,
Nice to
man.
see you,
And we only live like 10 blocks from each other.
I just moved, actually.
You're out of Bay Ridge now.
Yeah.
Wow, Hooligans is doing that good. You got that Hooligan money.
No, because I had mold in my apartment, and it was making me and my girlfriend sick, so we had to leave.
Now, you have a podcast called Hooligans. We're talking to my
He
good
doesn't
old.
care about your health.
I don't care at all. Yeah.
I'm sick. I'm gonna cough all over this microphone.
Yeah, I just trust that you're okay because you're here. Elvis is here.
Yo, mold is serious.
Yeah.
dude, for
What
real.
would you rather have, mold or bed bugs?
No, mold's one of those things. Like that's like a new New York kind of worry. Like, yeah, we have mold. There's mold. Is there lead paint? It's like, look, you're gonna die. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
The worst thing lead paint or fucking mold is the least that could happen to you in this fucking city. Right? He's from Sunset Park. He gets it.
Exactly.
Yo,
Yeah.
Christian Polanco would have been scared of you in high school.
I still am a little bit. What are you talking about?
Yo,
I love Kristen Polanco.
Yeah, but Sergio used to scare people in high school.
Oh, stop it.
Kenny Garcia said he used to get scared of Sergio.
Kenny
Anyway.
Garcia's a liar, by the way.
Now, I love your co-host too, Alexis Guerreros. You guys got a soccer podcast, very popular soccer podcast called Hooligans. Now, what's it like to be the more humble of the two Hooligans?
I mean, it's pretty.
Alexis Guerreros can be arrogant.
I think that it's a good balance.
Yeah.
Because he can be absolutely ridiculous. Whenever we're in any kind of setting where it's like where business is being discussed,
Yeah.
people are like, if they just meet Alexis, they're like, no, but there's no way we can work with this
They'd be
brand.
like-
You know?
Yeah, and they're also going like, "There's no way this guy doesn't not pay the rent at his house."
Exactly.
The way he's talking. I'm
Exactly.
just kidding.
So I'm the more reasonable one, and
Yeah.
people sort of trust me that this is an actual endeavor that they want to get involved with.
Now, when you guys start doing live shows, I assume they're all gonna have to be in England.
No.
'Cause you have American fans? Because we don't give a shit about soccer.
We deal with it all the time. We literally just got back from DC. We were doing.
Don't lie to me. You're gonna be doing a tour in Nigeria, Brazil,
I'd welcome it.
Honduras, maybe England, and the Netherlands.
We were in DC. We did stand up and we did a live podcast in Audi Field in an actual soccer stadium. So it was unbelievable. I don't think any other comedian has ever performed at a soccer stadium. It's only existed for like 2 years, so I think I can say it confidently. But no, there's a lot of American soccer fans that love American soccer, MLS, and are diehards that have been following it for like 20 years. And these are our people.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I'm kidding with you. It's going great. And look, I hope soccer grows. Soccer's a beautiful sport. You know?
Yeah, I do.
We just have a little bit of a scoring problem. Like, if you're an American, you're like, I know how to fix this problem. We make the goal bigger, we get rid of the goalie, or we put a blind guy in the sidelines with a gun, and he's just randomly firing onto the field.
And they play with trucks.
Yeah, or play with trucks, yeah. That would help. But it's getting more popular.
Yes, of course.
Thanks to Hooligans.
It is the most popular. People say all the time.
Globally, it's like the most popular sport.
Soccer is the most popular religion than any other, right? So it's too popular. Obviously.
Wait a second. Not more popular than Islam. Is that true, ISIS?
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, no. I mean, that is...
Okay, yeah, we confirmed. Okay.
That's a dangerous statement.
No,
you
it
just
is a
made.
very, very true
Soccer's
statement.
not more popular. This is a strange situation we got going on here. I don't know what this episode's about. Serge is still here. Nora Cupcakes girls are still here. Elvis is here. He makes T-shirts. And we're talking about a soccer podcast.
Let's do
What's
it.
going on right now?
Let's
This
talk
is a
about-
weird round table of fucking... This is an absolute fucking wild episode.
But yeah, check it out, man. This is a history show, right? I mean, 10 years ago, shit like this wouldn't be going on in a podcast. Like, it's just people from all different walks of life here. Which, by the way, I love Kristen Polanco's face. Look at that complexion.
Yeah, he looks 12 years old.
Yo, he's got a beautiful complexion. That dude drinks a lot of water.
Yo,
He got mannequin skin.
he looks like he's doing real life 21 Jump Street in Dominican high school.
I mean, that dude, he's looked like I've known this for 15 years, and he's looked the same. This guy's fucking gorgeous.
He's 47. Look at him. I mean, how young does this kid look?
Yo, baby man.
I've known Serge for like 9 years, so
Okay.
15 is a bit of a stretch. But no, this is my face. This has been my face since I started
know,
comedy.
man.
Yeah. Serge, I think you were the first person to book me on a show.
Yeah, bring a show. I said bring 30 people. You don't get on.
That's right. Yeah.
You are some dirtbag shit.
Laugh
back
No, I
Lounge.
was good. I was
Laugh
good. I
Lounge. You
wasn't
were a good dude.
dirtbag.
Yeah, you weren't too predatory.
Yeah,
you know?
I was a young comic trying to do it.
Yeah, dude.
Young comic smoking Newports, and you had a hairline back then.
Yeah, I was like that with drinking Hennessy with no ice.
Yeah, yo, when I met
Back
Serge,
when he only had one snake.
we only had one snake. Yo, when I met Serge for the first time, I swear to God, we had a great conversation by the bar, but I swear to God, he talked about 95% of the conversation.
And you know, Yanni didn't like that shit because he likes to
I like to speak.
He likes to hear himself speak.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, I liked Serge from the moment we met, and I liked you from the moment. There's not anything to dislike about Christian Polanco,
Thank you.
except for his podcast, Hooligans, because I'm not a soccer fan. I'm kidding. I like the
Okay,
World Cup. I like the
Nobody's
World Cup.
perfect. Nobody's
No,
perfect.
I like the World Cup. I do like soccer. I think it's a beautiful sport. I
Yeah,
do like
and Elvis does make shirts. He makes soccer inspired clothing, and he is our merch guy. And
Yeah.
we put him in touch with you.
So check this out now. You know how fucking screwed in we're getting? We got Nora Cupcakes here, right? Which basically, I know how screwed in you guys are. You do love us, but you're like, you know what? Let's bring a fucking cake. It's worth the amount of money for the podcast is growing. We're gonna get some good promo on this. No, I'm kidding. We just ate a cake. You guys can leave with it. You can have some.
Okay, thank you.
And I feel like I just did cocaine.
Yeah, I'm like stuck. I'm like this.
My hands are on fire. Are your hands on fire?
I need a Newport.
My
That's all
hands
I
are
know.
cold. I can't feel my head.
I can't feel my little toe.
Yeah.
Could I get a bump of the cake?
So yeah, you can. Nice to meet you, by the way, Elvis. Yeah.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, man. So Elvis from LA. From LA.
Yes,
On
sir.
the volley.
Yes, sir.
On
the
the
volley, bro.
On
yes.
thevolley.com. Now this is how straight. We're getting screwed in. We're getting our website coming, historyhyenas.com. So I'm friends with Alexis. Alexis and you have Hooligans. You guys do your merch somehow with Elvis because it's a soccer site, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he Elvis. We got in touch with you through like Instagram or
Yeah,
something
I
like
just was searching. I do all that to help grow my brand just through Instagram, liking all kinds of stuff. I saw what they were doing, and I'm
You're screwed in kid is what you're saying.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan.
Yeah.
I go to frequent shows
Yeah.
out in LA all the time, and I saw what they were doing, and I just reached out and said, "Look, I have a soccer-inspired clothing brand. Are you guys interested?" And they were all about it. I've been sending them merch, and then after
Yep.
a while, they were interested in making some stuff. And I was like, "We'll do this for you." Like,
Yeah, the
absolutely.
first thing he sent us was the Wu-Tang. It was like it's the Wu-Tang logo with a soccer pitch inside it, and everybody
Can
was
you legally do that? Do you try to sue you?
yo man, not on the air, dog.
They're nothing to fuck with.
It's illegal. RZA is gonna roll up on you while you're in New York.
Yeah. All right.
Well, we got soccer guys on here. You want to talk about the women's
We
pay?
are gonna.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get there. And what he was basically saying is, this is boring. Let's move forward. I like that.
Wrap it up.
We're 15 minutes in. We've only talked about Christian's face.
And we're all doing Surge's voice for some reason. Everyone's just talking like Surge. Yeah, but look, we can't forget also Nora Cupcakes is here. So this is gonna be we'll do an open forum about equal pay. But before we get there, because this is soccer, this is interesting
Do it.
fucking shit. Interesting shit going on. We got some women in the room, right? We got 2.5 women here because I'm half. I'm fucking. There's definitely a lot of estrogen pumping in me. But so and now Elvis is making our shirts.
Yes, sir.
So our shirts are coming. This is exciting. We got what are our shirts again? We got the No Fume shirt. We got the Witch Hazel shirt.
Cracked open, cleaned out.
We got the Cocoa shirt,
Yeah.
cracked open and cleaned out.
And then the fourth one is going to be the Wei
Chris's
Zhang-
remote deck. What did we do? What did we pick for the fourth?
the hyena, the Wei Zhang.
Oh, Wei Xiangxi.
Yeah.
Wei Songxian.
Wei Xiangxi. There it is. There it is. That was you heard it live for the first time. We got a new one called Loud 14 too. We're gonna have to do Loud 14 shirts.
Loud 14.
Loud 14. Yeah.
And we have a Smithfield Water Department design also.
Oh, we got shout out to Smithtown
Absolutely.
Water.
I'll send that to you.
Does anyone need a water? You guys good? You want a water?
Sure, I'll take
I'll
one.
take a
Yo, Christian Polanco talks like a proper. Like if I called up, I'm buying whatever you're selling. It's like, hi.
People tell me I sound like Alex Rodriguez.
You do.
I get that a lot. People are watching him do a broadcast and like, man, you sound exactly like Alex Rodriguez. I'm like, I'm sure I sound like a lot of Dominican Americans. What are you gonna do?
You kind of do. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But he's not Dominican though, is he? He's Puerto Rican.
No, he's full Dominican.
Alex
A-Rod-
Rodriguez is.
Alex Rodriguez is Dominican. He was born in, I believe, Florida, but to Dominican parents.
I thought he was Puerto Rican all this time.
Oh my God, this changes everything.
I
Man.
know. He's Dominican?
Yeah.
Wow.
How many? I mean, there's a couple good Puerto Rican baseball players, but I mean, the Dominicans got it on lock, dog.
Dominicans too got it on lock. How about soccer? Is Puerto Rico or Dominicans?
there's probably like 3 that end up playing, but there's actually a couple Dominican players that play in Spain.
Yeah.
And there's always a big issue because the Dominican Republic national team is terrible. They're just not good at all. It's a baseball country, but there's a couple Dominicans that play in Spain that have dual citizenship, and they choose to play for Spain instead of Dominican Republic, repping where they're from. So it's like it's something that bugs me that they.
Yeah, we upset.
Yeah,
I'm mad, and I'm so get mad.
This is as mad as I get, so deal with it,
Well,
everybody.
Yeah.
I think Big Papi is why they're doing that.
No, that's
Totally makes sense. I get it.
Well, today we interviewed Giuseppe Rossi, and he did the exact same thing. It's just like
Sure.
on topic.
Do you know who Giuseppe Rossi
Wow,
is?
first of all, I like that he just said we interviewed. He just bumped himself up.
was-
And, he's like,
I took pictures.
when did you become a co-host? He's like, we just, we're doing a lot of stuff right now.
That's right.
We interviewed Giuseppe Papi.
Dude, he's gonna take over this podcast real soon.
Yeah, I know.
No, do you know who Giuseppe Rossi is?
No.
You ever heard? So he was born in New Jersey to Italian parents, and he was a great soccer player. The U.S. wanted him to play on the U.S. soccer team, but he chose to play for Italy. And he's seen today as from a lot of American soccer fans as a traitor. They hate him.
Wow.
They can't stand. They can't believe that the fact that he was born here and basically rejected an opportunity to be like an absolute star for the U.S. team, as opposed to just another dude playing for Italy. And he chose Italy. And then he only played about 40 games, never got called back in, and people are like, good for you. Right? That's what you get. So that's what we just talked to him, and it was an amazing conversation.
Now, why do you think he did that?
His parents. It had to be
Yeah,
How
it
about
seemed
the
like
money? This is for the national team.
national team.
So
the
no money involved.
No, there's money involved, but it's probably you want to play for it. It's a better team, more worldwide, more renowned.
You're
So-
gonna probably go to the World Cup, whereas when you're the American male team, those guys are overpaid. I mean, those guys haven't even fucking made the World Cup or qualified.
Yes.
We're gonna get into it today, and we got. Did you play soccer?
growing up.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. But
Yeah. You're a soccer fan.
But I'm a soccer fan. Yeah.
Yeah. You play baseball?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I play mostly basketball. In Brooklyn, I grew up in Brooklyn.
That's
so
true. But I
mostly
just
that.
pick if you have Dominican parents, like at some point your father was like, "This is a baseball. Take a baseball and throw it.
No,
Let's see if he has an arm. No, he has nothing."
my dad was not too invested in my life per se. He was, mostly, he just liked his presidente.
Neither was Surges.
he was around, but
My father was half Dominican. So,
Okay.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
my father's half That's Chikong is actually a Dominican
Okay.
name. Yeah.
Now, Nora
real
Cupcakes is
Dominican.
also here, but so we'll come to you. So don't copy us, even though we copied you using your merch guy. I don't want you to call Nora Cupcakes and say, "Give us a cake in the shape of a soccer ball."
Yeah, receives the soccer ball with Alexis'
Yeah.
face on it.
Yeah.
There's no challenge in that.
It would be funny if like every fucking podcast starts calling Nora Cupcakes because of Chris and starts going, "We want a we want a cake in the shape of a guy we fucked."
And then it'd be Chris.
Yeah! Wow, this is turning out to be a fun episode.
Oh, that cake's gonna have a thick ass.
Yeah, because they made us a pseudo penis cake.
Okay.
Yeah. Now these girls. Do you guys meet at all?
No, we didn't meet.
These
Hi.
are worlds
Hi,
colliding.
nice to meet you.
Did
Hi.
you know that you were going to meet a guy from LA who makes T-shirts
No.
named Elvis today? Weird shit is going on right now. Did you know we're going to be putting you on the spot, asking your opinion about fucking equal pay? You had no idea. You thought
No
we were just
idea.
going to eat fucking cheesecake and move on. I'm saying cheesecake because I'm coked up right now. I mean, I'm on a sugar high right now.
Like this, just looking at you like this.
Yo, if Mike Emoji Face falls asleep, call 911. All right. Is that a Tribe Called Quest shirt?
So this is one of Elvis's shirts, coincidentally. This is the Tribe Called Quest, like that design.
Wow, this kid's gonna get sued quick.
Well, this one we're actually okay with. It's called a game called Football, and we released this for the Women's World Cup 4 years ago, and it's just a girl kicking. It's just inspired by the colors from one of their albums.
It's a dope shirt.
Yeah,
man.
Low End Theory.
This is-
I believe it was the
Yeah,
name of the
Yeah, this is
album.
one of our more popular shirts, and
Yeah.
then like this one that I did is just like a Run DMC kind of
Oh,
thing.
I can see that. Yeah.
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 You didn't have to explain that. Yeah, that's
you'd be
it's a
surprised.
walking lawsuit on your fucking shirt.
No, I mean, I do research a lot of the appropriation stuff that
Yeah.
like I know what we can kind of slide with, and Wu-Tang's one of the ones that is just so widely used. Like, where would Wu-Tang begin to start
Right.
telling people?
That's got to be the most popular logo in the world. The
Yeah,
Wu-Tang
yeah.
logo.
It's one of them.
Yeah, nobody even knows what the Pepsi logo is.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Yeah.
that was a joke, guys. I'm sorry. Jeez.
So this is what we want to talk about, Christian. We brought you in specifically. I'm going to act like this was planned. This is all random today. But we were going to talk about this to begin with. Where are you going? You going to the bathroom? All right. Whatever happens in the bathroom is going to be violent. Mike Emoji Face just went to the bathroom. I would not want to be that toilet right now. Whatever the toilet's just going no. If a toilet can speak, it's just going no, no,
Little arms come out.
no. Yeah, because it just might be it might be cake that comes out. Anyway, no, it's not. Doesn't work that quick. Are you coked up too? There's a lot of sugar.
I definitely feel so.
I shouldn't have ate all the frosting. I think the frosting is what gets you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel great.
You feel good?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
because it's
good.
like that's like training wheels Coke. Yeah.
I still have most of it right here. I'm just taking a bump every now and then.
Just snorting cake.
No, he's just waiting for the sheik to come to pray over it so it can be halal. It's not halal right now.
Allahu Akbar.
Okay, so here's the deal. Big controversy.
Yes.
Equal pay. Soccer. The women's soccer. Shout out to the girls who just won the World Cup.
Yes, right. We had two of them on our show. I can't believe it.
Wow.
It was great. Yeah, Rose Lavelle and Ali Krieger, who were like our friends now. It's crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, your podcast is doing great, and you guys are both funny guys. Check it out, Hooligans, which is a great name too, because it's like a play off of hooligans,
Exactly.
soccer hooligans. Because those European soccer fans act like animals.
Yeah. We don't need that. We don't need that here.
Yeah, no. You know what? You know what it is? Let me just say this. No, seriously. Let me just say this. Patriotic Pappas for a second.
Let's go for it.
I'm kind of fucking sick of like the other countries talking about us, how racist we are. You go to those fucking games in Europe, they fucking throw bananas on the field. They do shit.
It's bad.
They fucking Nazi salute at soccer games.
Yes.
And then they got the gall to fucking lecture us. Get the fuck out of here, England.
I agree
Yeah.
with you 100%.
Yeah,
And
they're much more racist over there.
And then it depends on the country, right? There's certain country. Italy right now is probably the worst nowadays. There's players that play for Juventus where they do monkey chants, they throw bananas on. These are superstars, and they do not respect them. And the Italian Federation doesn't punish these teams.
How can they not punish teams? How can the law enforcement not prevent that?
I agree. I completely agree with
Yo,
you.
Italian kids can't help it. They're fucking Italians are just have racism.
It's all I know.
It's so deep in there. Italians just they can't help it.
It's bad. So what tends to happen occasionally is that if they find that a group of fans start doing that, the next game they'll allow the game to be played. They'll find a team and they'll force the game to be played with no fans. So the team can't make any money from any of the ticket sales. So it's just a quiet stadium, and 22 guys are playing against
Is it
each other.
working?
It works sometimes, but that's the only thing they can really do because you can't arrest everybody. You can't arrest every racist, so they have to punish the club, and they
They arrest the whole country of Italy.
just saw off the boot. It's gone. So that they try to do things. Italy has been the slowest to kind of like eradicate it, but some of the other England at least does a better job. The English media gets on. They put the photos of the people that yell at the players or if they throw something. So they try to do a little bit more. So you can I'll give some credit there.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
Very stupid.
It's fucking stupid, and I hate that they, because they always talk shit about Americans, the Europeans. I'm like, look at you, fucking animals. They act like animals at the soccer game.
There's bad people everywhere.
Oh
but
no, come on.
There's bad people on both sides.
Yeah, but
I've never seen fans quite behave like soccer fans.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
There's a reason why they're called soccer hooligans. I mean, there's a reason.
Sure, but that's
Yeah.
what I say. Like the fervor, the passion, and when I make the comment about like it's the most popular religion, it's because this is people are radicalized,
Yeah.
when it comes to soccer, and there's a couple of those people, and it's changed a lot. And in the 80s and 90s, it was a nightmare, and it was really, really bad. And it's the fact that social media puts a light on all this stuff now. It's happening a lot less.
And you know what it is? A lot of it too, I think, is like Northern European kids can't handle their liquor at all. They get drunk, like they drink up there. Like I've been there many times, like. And actually they did this study. It's like Southern Europeans can handle liquor overall better because they've been drinking liquor longer.
Okay,
So it's an actual thing.
like a genetic
Yeah.
predisposition.
Exactly. It's like, Asian guys, they haven't been drinking it long enough. So it's like...
So their
they're-
face gets red. you
Yeah,
know?
they're starting to be able to tolerate it a little bit. Native Americans.
Yeah, but I never I've been drunk before. I never got racist from this. They're just racist, and it comes
Not you.
out.
You're racist when you're sober, dog.
Right. So it's good that we know this shit.
That's a great point. Yeah, you guys just act like animals, and it's not fucking cute. And it's like... you watch those soccer games and you just there's sometimes you'll see like a whole section of Nazis in the crowd, and
know,
you're
it's
going like, are
fucking
those
weird.
Nazis? And then those countries like, no, that's our right wing party. Like their parties over there in Europe are like fucking actual Nazis. They have right wing parties that are like Nazis.
Sure, but Europe is very big, so we should clarify.
No,
who-
fuck them all. We'll come back and conquer your whole fucking town. All right? Stop talking
Look,
shit.
there are bad.
Just kidding.
There-
Yeah, exactly. We'll send fucking. You know who we'll send over there. We'll take you. We'll take all of Europe outside, do a few things to you physically.
By myself, I'll take you physically.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad people that support soccer, yes, but there are overwhelmingly amazing human beings that soccer, more than any other sport, has this sense of community that I've never seen in any other sport. So it's like there's people the people who paint the signs at games, like those people, they spend a week beforehand donating their own time, their own money
For men's soccer.
for and women's soccer. No, I get passionate.
We're talking about male soccer fans, right?
No, dude. Like if you go to a Portland Thorns game, like
Yeah.
they get like 20,000 people to support.
The Portland what?
The Portland Thorns. They get about 20,000 people at a stadium to watch women's soccer, professional women's soccer.
So that's a professional team in the United
yes,
States?
the Portland Thorns. The NWSL is the women's
That's
league.
a whack ass name.
Let me
Nah,
just say this
dude.
right now. Nora, the
Thorns?
girls from Nora Cupcake Company in Middletown, look how many times I'm plugging you. We
Thank
love
you.
you guys. We fucking love you so much. I was just going to say, actually, thank God Chris is not here for this episode. Because if Chris was here for this episode... Yeah, I mean...
Wei Zhongxian.
Yeah, there'd be fucking a chorus of Wei Zhongxings when we're talking about women's soccer. So, anyway, I'm just joking.
for it.
Yeah. So you were talking about the Portland Stingrays, the Portland Caterpillars.
The Portland Thorns they have a couple of the U.S. women's national team players. Tobin Heath, who just won the World Cup, plays for that team.
Yeah.
It's a great stadium. Honestly, one of the best soccer experiences if you ever get to see a Portland Thorns game. I promise.
How many people fit in that stadium?
20,000. They sell out.
Really?
Correct.
You're
All
not
right?
exaggerating
I'm not
because you're a soccer podcast.
I am not.
How much are the tickets?
They just played. They just NWSL just signed a contract to finally have their games on ESPN, and they were on yesterday.
When you talk about your podcast overseas, do you call it the football hooligans?
No, man. The whatever. I mean, that's like it's called soccer here. That's what we call it. Like fuck everybody
Yo,
else. who
Christian
disagrees.
Polanco has a real like political. You could have been a politician. He's really in control and like kind of just like no, ha, 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 ha. You got one of those personas. You work well with all types of personalities and you keep it in the pocket.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, but the Thorns themselves, yes, they're incredibly popular. NWSL just signed a contract to have a bunch of their games air on ESPN.
Wow.
And it's growing. The bump after the World Cup is always huge, and more people are interested in the league. And really,
then the male season's starting.
And then regular football comes back.
but yeah, it's up. When NFL starts up again, it's always an issue. But no, it's growing, and it needs the support to exist because the NWSL has been around for like 6-7 years, and every year to year they're like, we don't know if it's going to be around the next year, and so people need to support the league if they want it to continue to exist.
Now, so sometimes they do a 20,000 sellout female soccer team in Portland.
Correct.
During just a league game.
Regular season.
No country pride at.
Nope.
That's impressive.
Yes.
How many teams are doing that? Regularly.
Not many. Not many. They're the best, the most like well-attended team.
And it's in Portland. Are they doing that, you think, in Portland because they love soccer? Or are they doing that because it's Portland and they're like, we're going to fucking support... You know,
They-
they're are they selling out the women badminton games as well?
I don't know. I don't.
Just as a political message. Look,
I don't think so. But I've been in Portland, and they do love soccer. It's
they love
passionate.
sleeping on the street too.
They do. The big fans.
Yeah.
Okay.
They love wearing black masks and punching
Yeah,
right-wing
you could-
gay reporters as well.
You can be homeless and kicking the ball around.
Yeah,
So you can make it
Portland's
work.
a wild place.
Yeah, but a lot of different, ideologies.
Not a lot. It's pretty much just all left. And boy, is it left.
No, but the Timbers.
I mean, I'm pretty left. I go there, I'm like, I'm right! I want to go right!
You want soy milk or almond milk? Which one are you?
Yeah.
The Timbers are the MLS team, the men's team, and the NWSL team is the Thorns, and they both get incredible support. So it's literally the Trailblazers and the Timbers and Thorns.
And
are
Antifa. Those three get the best. support.
Yeah, great sporting events that Antifa.
So, all right. So here's the big question.
Go for it.
Here's the big question. Ladies, we want you in on this too. All right. You guys all know about this controversy. And is it a controversy or is it
I would call it a controversy. Yes.
controversy? Okay.
There's a lawsuit going on right now. It's
Yeah, so they filed a lawsuit.
Yes.
Now this is interesting because you can explain. I'm actually going to learn a lot about this issue.
Sure.
Everyone's talking about it. They're asking the women's soccer team who just won the World Cup. They are badass. This is their fucking third World Cup. Fourth, and they've won
Second in a row.
Second in a row. So 2 in a row, 4 altogether. The 98,
99.
1990, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was the Brandy Chastain. Took
Yeah,
off
that
her
was
shirt.
amazing. And was that in the U.S. again?
Yeah, that was the Rose Bowl.
There was a Rose Bowl. It was fucking sold out. Those girls changed the game. It was all amazing. She took off her thing. You know, when she scored the goal. Fucking, what's her name? The star who dates Nomar Garcia Parra.
Mia Hamm.
She was like the first star. She started being in Nike commercials. It was like she was like the first visible female. And the marketing of her, she was a star.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to. This was 99. Like, maybe the Portland Thimbles are selling out now. Maybe they're fucking selling out. Okay, this 2019. We're talking 20 years ago. 20 years ago, nobody was watching women's soccer. The country came together for that team. It was amazing. But other than that, nobody gave a shit about women's soccer.
So, yeah,
Christian-
from your perspective, sure.
No,
Yeah.
let's be honest.
But yeah, it wasn't as popular.
1999. How popular was women's soccer besides the World Cup? That was like the beginning of it.
Yes, I agree.
Okay? Okay. Now, Mia Hamm, relative to how popular women's soccer was, which was basically just like JV volleyball and then women's soccer.
Okay, sure.
Mia Hamm was everywhere.
Yeah.
Marking. I'm just saying, she was fucking everywhere. For a woman who had like a side job and then played on the national team, Nike. She
Yeah.
was like in every commercial for like 10 years. Even past her when she was good.
Yeah.
She was still in commercials. The biggest commercials. Big budget fucking. And
a
she had
star.
she had a Nike. They made her into a star.
Yeah, she was.
So I'm just bringing that up. As an example because one of the big arguments is like there's no marketing. There's no marketing for female for soccer.
Yes.
And so we need equal pay and companies need to, just put equal amount of money into the marketing. Which is an interesting thing because we're talking about like now we're getting
I'll
like
speak to the marketing aspect that they have a problem with is not in individual endorsements for the players. That they can take care of that on their own.
But that's not just an endorsement of the player. That's an endorsement of the sport.
I agree. Yeah,
she was an ambassador for the sport.
The marketing that they have a problem with, that the women's national team has a problem with, is the U.S. Soccer Federation.
Gotcha.
They are
Okay.
not marketing their games as well as they do the men's.
Gotcha.
So that is the issue.
That clears it up for me.
Yeah.
That's very okay. So this is all about what they're getting paid for the World Cup.
From
the national teams.
Correct, from their federation. So
Okay.
and the lawsuit is between the women's national team those players and the U.S. Soccer Federation. Those are the two people at odds.
Okay. Do you guys watch sport? You guys watch female sports?
No.
No. Do you watch male sports?
Yes.
Yes.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe if the marketing was better.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we'll get back to that. All right. So it's about that.
Okay.
Now let's talk both sides. Let's do both sides argument.
Yeah.
We're not going to take a side. We're just going to put them out there. Because to be honest with you, I'm just going to say this now. I really don't care about this issue. I could care less. Like, really, I mean, whatever.
It's something to care about. It is like kind of interesting, but
I know,
but go.
but I'm just saying that to protect myself. I believe both. I believe women should get equal pay, and also I understand whatever else you're saying.
Yeah. Well,
So-
and before you ask your question, let me make sure it is not a men versus women argument. That's not. It's not like the men's national team is like, fuck them. I don't want them to get paid. That's not exactly what's happening. It's a little bit more complex than that.
Okay. So the one side, the what's her name? Ranapu?
Was that a puppy?
Rapananu?
Megan Rapinoe.
Megan Rapinoe.
favorite restaurant.
Italian. She's Italian girl.
Well, the name is Italian. I don't know.
Rapinoe.
You know, I'm not gonna speak for her.
If she is, we call them something on this podcast Italians. And based on all the information you were telling me what they do in Italy, I'm just going to say she's a sauce monkey. Thank you. So Megan Rapinoe, it's just Italian for Italians because they like sauce.
Okay.
Okay, so Megan Rapinoe. Yeah, welcome to the History Hyenas, Elvis.
It's a term of
We do things different on the East Coast. He's fucking having a PC nightmare in his head. He's like, can't compute. Fucking LA doesn't work like this, bro. Yo, in LA, bro. Fucking LA is going to go crazy, bro. All right. So Megan Rapinoe is spirit. She's like the spokesperson for it, but the team is suing the federation.
Yes.
In court for equal pay.
Yes.
Now, what is the pay based on? Just objectively. Don't throw in your little Dominican facts. I'm just trying to be Chrissy and Yannis at the same time.
Dominican slider facts.
Yeah, throw me a fastball, not a slider. El Duque. Give me the heat. Don't give me any of the fucking breaking stuff.
So the pay. Okay, so let's say this. So the federation decides what the players are paid. Like they have a collective bargaining agreement.
And the federation is just a council of people
that
representatives.
run U.S. soccer.
Run U.S. soccer. It's
Yes.
like the FIFA for the United States. It's
Correct.
like a governing body.
Yep. Correct. So
Got it.
there's like it's tiers, right? So there's the U.S. Federation, there's CONCACAF, which is the continent, right? And then there's FIFA, right? So that's how it's layered.
Interesting.
It's
Okay.
like a 3-layer cake.
Got it.
Anyway,
Very nice. Add a way to include the girls who are fucking tuning out because we're talking sports. I'm just kidding. They're very tuned in. We're all equal. Girls love sports just as much as guys.
so when there's when games happen that are not, it's not the World Cup, right? It's the U.S. Soccer will schedule games, like say a friendly between U.S. and Mexico. They play each other. They play each other in New Jersey. U.S. Soccer decides, and with that agreement, that collective bargaining agreement, they decide like, okay, this is what you guys are gonna be paid. Now the issue, what's going on with the World Cup is that and this is their claim is that they win the World Cup, right? And for winning the World Cup, the women, they make less money than the men just for like getting to like the second round.
Now that money is paid by the federation. And where does that money come from?
Well, so there's the pot of money for the men's World Cup is much more than the women's World Cup.
And the federation distributes it to them.
The FIFA gives it to the federation,
Right.
and then the federation will distribute it.
Gotcha.
And the men have to play more games to win that also, don't they?
No, they do not.
They don't?
No, last cycle, because the men didn't make the World Cup, right? Last cycle, the women ended up playing more games, even leading
Ended
up
up
to the
having to
World
play
Cup.
more games.
Yeah, so
But what I'm saying is for the men to win, don't they have to play more games total than the women have to play?
No. In the World Cup,
including qualifying and in the tournament.
no, it's the same. It wouldn't.
I read that it was different. That's why I'm asking.
I mean, it might not be by much, but even to qualify and then get into the World Cup, okay, there might be a few more
there's
games.
just not as many teams.
Yeah, but regardless, so a lot of time people make the complaint like, oh, nobody watches women's soccer. But in this World Cup, in this final, more people in the U.S. watched the women's World Cup final than the men's World Cup final.
Okay, but before we get into
I
that,
found an answer to the question. The women have to play 5 games in a single 2-week tournament. The men have to play a 2-year, 16-game slog across North America and South America and the Caribbean.
Yeah, but the number of games is not dramatically more. It's
76 to
what is it?
Let me see.
Yeah, look
The
at
men played 76, getting to where they lost, and the women played 110 games to when they won.
okay.
So that's not even-
So they played more games. Yeah.
So
the
the women-
women played more games.
Yes, because they won. I'm not saying they didn't play more games, but their pay
not
part of it's based off of how many total games they're playing. The men do have to play more games total to get to the end.
okay.
So it's not really being brought up and all that on a lot of stuff,
All right, so you're saying the men.
including qualifying rounds. They do have to play more games.
Why?
Total.
Why is that different?
Because, like you said, there's just more teams.
There's more teams. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I understand.
Okay.
So they have to play more games just because there's more teams.
Yeah.
Right now, that could change.
But
as,
overall, the women have
Yeah.
played more games.
as Malta develops a
Because they win.
women's soccer team, there might be more games.
Yeah.
We're dependent on you,
Yeah.
Malta.
So if you
are
look
you guys
at-
still okay? Are
if
you
you look
you're
at-
fine?
Good.
We'll get back to you in a second.
Because you're not paying like the Germany won, right? The men's.
Yeah.
So they're like
Well, France won the most recent one.
right. That's right. They played more games than the U.S. Let's put it that way. And the two teams that won, that winning team from the men played way more.
All right, we just need to take a
Yes.
second.
Yes. That's
so
clear.
that's how
This
the
is very
this team-
intriguing. I think we're losing Serge at this point. You got to go,
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
All right.
To go show women how to punch.
Well, thanks for coming.
I love you guys. Have a
Take
good
care,
day.
Serge.
Good seeing you, man.
Yeah, follow Serge, of course. Sergio Chicon on Instagram. Love you, Serge. Thank you.
It's good meeting you.
Yeah, we'll speak soon, Serge.
Thank you.
But the women have played 50% more games total than our men's team.
Okay.
Okay, so I get it. So the men have to play more because there's more teams, essentially.
More or less, yeah.
Okay, and they get paid based on how many games? A little bit.
I think so.
Yeah. They each team has their own agreement, like collective bargaining agreement. So they're not they don't bargain together. So they each sort of have a responsibility to get the best deal that for the team.
Okay. Now, where does this money come from that FIFA distributes to the federation that's given to the team?
Sponsors, ticket sales. FIFA handles all of that. So if it's a World Cup, FIFA handles all securing all the sponsors. They get all the money, and they decide what the pot is, right? So for the men's World Cup, it was $400 million, and that was distributed. Not all of it, but a percentage of it was distributed to the countries that made the World Cup, and then if you got further along into the World Cup and therefore win, you would make more money.
Okay, now FIFA's been caught many times being
It's a
corrupt.
terrible organization.
That's a side thing. It's
Yes.
a terrible organization for many reasons. Just get your facts ready. Get some facts ready. Okay. I want to know what some facts are.
Go for it.
So no, I just want to know the numbers. Okay. So now does FIFA make this decision for all the teams the same? It's every team in the World Cup gets the same amount if they win.
Yes. It is. I believe. What was I think 30 million or 40.
Why are you looking at him? He sells T-shirts.
What was the pot
they were
for?
getting,
I think it was like $30 million. Let's say France won the World Cup, they get 30 million. And that is split up amongst the French players and everybody. So that's basically how they have that pot. The main issue is that the pot for the men's World Cup is much more than the women's World Cup. Okay. It is if you win the World Cup in men, you make a ton more money than if you win the women's World Cup.
Right. But presumably that's because, like you said, there's more ticket sales, more sponsors for the more people globally watch the.
Correct. Yes.
So that's why the pot's bigger.
Yes. So you can understand why
It's market driven, is what you're saying.
Yes.
It's completely market driven.
Yeah, if the market driven and the amount of money being invested that the sponsors are paying to get their ads on a men's World Cup and a women's World Cup are very different, right? They're paying much more. Therefore, there is a bigger pot and more money can be given to the winners of the World Cup.
But you could make an argument they're doing that because they feel like the market's bigger for the men.
Correct.
You could say that.
You could, yes.
Because money doesn't really, as we know, money rarely has a morality. I mean, it's kind of like if there's a fucking void in the marketplace, everyone likes to make money. So someone's filling it. Okay, well, whatever. Now, I mentioned that thing with Mia Hamm. That was 1999. I know who Mia Hamm is. I know who all those girls were. We've been talking about women's soccer in this country at least a lot compared to what it was before 1999. What's it like in the other countries? What's it like in the Netherlands, England, Spain?
Bad, right? The U.S. has been at the forefront of growing the women's game.
That's what I figured.
Mainly because of Title IX. Title IX allowed forced women to be or have the ability, forced schools to basically offer sports to the boys and the girls.
Right.
So in the U.S., girls were just better at soccer than in other other countries.
Right.
So
They were allowed to play.
They were allowed to play. England, soccer was football was illegal for women. They said it was not ladylike, so they didn't let them play.
Yeah, so we're kind of leading the charge, right?
Very much so.
So
What the U.S. women do have in their favor is that they are the strongest and most supported team in the world. So they're just
interesting. You wouldn't really know that by how the girls are acting. It's kind of like the kind of new thing.
Yes.
It's like just 100% bash without any kind
But
of like.
I'll tell you why they're
It's
bashing.
not, it's okay to bash, but then there's this other side where you never hear. Like, I've been listening to these chicks, I've been watching it all, and like, now I'm learning this, and I'm going like, that's fucking interesting. You guys are getting the most support. Mia Hamm's a fucking multi-millionaire. She was fucking shopping at fucking Seatown a couple of months before the fucking World Cup in '99. Okay, maybe not Seatown, but Giant in Maryland. She was at Giant, and now she's a multi-millionaire, huge market, fucking supported, sponsored Nike athlete from a World Cup appearance. And it's like, I just want to know, is that happening in other countries? Because the way fucking Mary Rapinoe made it sound is that she's like, we all have to be better. It's like, we're doing pretty good by the women.
Yes, but when she says we have to be better, she is talking globally, especially, right? She doesn't want to crush Thailand 13-0 every time they
Why
go
not?
to the World Cup because
she's a fucking traitor and needs to maybe be impeached from the soccer team. I love crushing Taiwan 14-6. Are you kidding me? What the fuck, dude? Why don't we want America to be number one?
Well, okay,
we don't give away our secrets. What the fuck's going on? I thought this was war.
You
The
can't.
secret is letting women vote.
So it's fine if you feel that way, but it's like there's both schools of thought. Because some people are like, "Hey, we shouldn't have been celebrating all those goals," but right now you're saying like, "Yo, flex on Thailand. Who gives a shit?"
What
right?
are we supposed to do when the American Dream Team, the first American Dream Team? Am I supposed to feel bad because the team from Tahiti wanted to take pictures with Magic Johnson? No, I felt good every moment.
Okay, good.
You know what it is? You know how nice it is? Because, like, they hate us. Let's just be honest. Everywhere we go, we're a little, like, they blame us for everything. They blame... It's kind of nice once in a while to just watch Kobe Bryant just put his fucking nuts on some fucking Italian player's head. It's just nice once in a while to have fucking... Okay, you guys talking a lot of shit. You know, blah, 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 blah. Just to have fucking the Admiral David Robinson or fucking Shaquille O'Neal. Do you remember when Vince Carter jumped over a 7'1" guy? You're just going, listen, if you had any question about who number one is, we'll show you at any moment. Because this guy just jumped over one of your tallest players.
Okay, so-
USA!
I feel like that makes
even-
Thailand want to give up, though. Like, if they weren't going to give women's soccer that much attention before, they're definitely not going to now.
But listen,
I disagree. I disagree.
But listen, we got bigger problems than whether Tahiti's playing soccer, women's soccer. I mean, why does Mary Rapinoe care so much? And I'm gonna know her name as soon as she starts treating our president with respect.
Okay,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to fill Chrissy's role.
Ladder 14.
Ladder 14, it's a character piece.
Even though the U.S. Soccer team, the women's soccer team, is the most supported, it is not supported from the federation equally to the men.
I get that part. I just wanted to cover this part first.
Sure.
We're doing this step by step.
Okay.
Okay, so I get it. So, our federation, the American Federation, is treating the female soccer players better than the federations of other countries.
Without a doubt.
Even European countries, you're saying?
Yes,
Netherlands,
I would say so.
Spain, Italy, England.
I mean, there's certain.
And you're saying our success in women's soccer is sort of a reflection of that by the support that we're getting.
I think
We're leading the way in
I
some
think
ways.
the culture of women's soccer in the U.S. That helps as well because it's a little bit tougher for young girls to start playing soccer in other countries without dealing with incredible like misogyny and all that stuff. But yes, the federation. Also, we can give credit to the federation, but also the U.S. women's national team makes a ton of fucking money for U.S. soccer. So like that is sort of the issue. Even though it's great, and they're like they might sound like they're complaining a little too much, but it's just like they're not getting their fair shake, given that they are making the U.S. Federation a ton of money, and they're not, and on top of that, they're not paying them because they're making they get more viewers than the men do, especially in this World Cup.
Right.
So it's
The men weren't in the World Cup.
it's just like why should the women be penalized for the men's failure? And
They're not being penalized. They're just not being compensated fully to the men. They're not being penalized. That's not the right word to say.
Okay, sure.
Okay, I'm just trying to control your fucking your Portland vibe, where emotions get in the way. And believe me, I'm a left-leaning kid, but things have got out of hand, Christian. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just okay. So they're not being penalized, but they are not being compensated. Commiserate with
with their success.
With their success.
Yes.
But is that success or is that earnings? Are they
earnings as well, ratings.
Okay, you got numbers ready?
Things like that.
Trying to.
Okay.
Everyone just has different takes on it.
Yeah, well, don't go to the New York Times because it's all bullshit now. Wei Xiongxing.
And that
I'm just fucking doing a Chrissy impersonation.
I'm not saying that if the U.S. men get to the World Cup final, of course they will most likely have more better ratings and more viewers than if the women's make it to the final. If it's like head to head,
but isn't that sexist?
Whatever it is, I don't know what to label it as, but it is what it is.
Ladies, we have women here. Nora's Cupcake Company from Middletown, Pennsylvania. There's a cake in there that fucking Elvis can't stop smelling. You want a piece of that, don't you? A little bit, yeah. Ladies, what do you think? Is that sexist? That the men are being watched more? Serena Williams wants to know.
I think it's a little bit of a reach, but...
I mean, the total prize pool for 2018.
I
for
respect
the men,
the way you did that. You guys got a business to think about. You don't know the opinions of your clientele.
We know the opinions of our clients.
That's hard
It's a cupcake store.
Yeah, so we'll just answer whatever they want to hear. Because that's what we do in here. We go for funny first. That's our brand. You guys sell cakes. We sell funny. And on occasionally a little Ridgewood racism.
Wei Xiongxing.
Yeah.
So the total prize pool for 2018 for the men was $400 million. The winner got $38 million.
Yeah.
No, this is all correct. These aren't fake news.
No,
right?
this is accurate.
And then for the women, it was $30 million total for the prize pool. $4 million for the winners.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa. I'm no mathematician. Wait, give me that again so the people can hear it.
$400 million compared to $30 million.
Now, what year was that?
The last World
The
Cup
last
for the
World
men
Cup.
compared to this
That
World Cup
shitty
for the
team
women.
made $400 million?
The total prize pool for the men.
Every team that made the World Cup.
Oh, sorry. I'm fucking stupid.
Those $400 million.
But compared to $30 million, so it's still crazy.
Yeah, okay, so...
And then the winners was $38 million for the winners on the male team.
Yeah.
$4 million for the women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now, politics aside, let's say I just woke up out of a coma today. Let's say I woke up out of... Christian, I'm just bringing to you...
This is not political at all.
This is going to be very listened to
Go ahead.
podcast because we're actually doing this podcast just to hop in. We just want to hop in the hashtag situation. This has nothing to do with history. We're like, you know what? We're fucking screwed in, kids. If we do an episode on the fucking equal pay episode, maybe we'll get some new fans. But this could end up being interesting.
Yeah.
Because, okay, I'm waking up out of a coma. I'm like, all right, what up? Oh, God, where am I? Right? Chrissy's there like...
You had one of
Chrissy's
those
there.
cakes.
Yeah, no. I'm waking up out of a coma. Chrissy's at my bedside crying because that's where he's going to be, right? He misses me. He doesn't know what to do with himself. Right? He's like, I don't know how to handle the situation with the mother. What do I do? I got nobody to hang out with. Yeah. He's like, what am I supposed to do? The podcast with Franks and Beans? I can't do it. So I wake up out of a coma. I'm going, okay, what's going on? What's the biggest news? And he goes, okay, here's the situation. And he reads me that, and I go, I'm just being honest. I haven't heard any arguments. I'm just going like, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So okay.
So everyone should be happy. That's what kind of market driven kind of sounds about right. Business, if I'm in business, if I'm a business guy. I mean, Elvis, we could do this in T-shirts if you want him to figure it out. I mean,
the only language I know is tease.
Are you going to force Elvis to start selling Cyndi Lauper T-shirts and say, listen, if the sales aren't right, we need to market it more? There's not enough marketing going up for Cyndi Lauper shirts.
Okay.
Over Wu-Tang. The kid's screwed in. He knows what's selling. It's fucking Wu-Tang, not Cyndi Lauper. Anyway, I'm just saying, I know the numbers sound... That makes sense to me.
Okay, so the U.S. women are not saying that we should be paid the same as the men who win the World Cup. They're not saying that. So, all right, they are battling with their federation. They understand, of course, $38 million and $4 million is a stark difference in how much that's going to be split.
Again, I just want to say quickly, you never hear them actually say this. I think it would actually help them to be a little more honest, a little bit more detailed about, because it turns a lot of people off by how, like,
okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Most people are not as screwed in to U.S.
There you go. There you go. Welcome to the Hyenas, baby. We're a couple of fucking screwed in kids.
Most people, look, they don't even watch women's sports, right?
Yeah.
And most people do not care about the minutia of how much they're paid and why they're paid what they're paid. So it's difficult to get eyeballs and attention on the issue if you're going over these very, very detailed specifics. Most people do not care. And I'm even explaining to you, and you barely care. So
Yeah, I start tuning out right there. I gotta admit.
The U.S. Soccer Federation has a total operating revenue for 2018 of 101.4 million. So that's total for both teams.
Yeah.
But most of that's coming from sponsorship. Only 25% of it comes from like games.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So, but the women are battling with U.S. soccer, not with FIFA and like say they are making the point that the women's game should be supported more, so that hopefully the prize money can be $400 million in the future. So that will take FIFA saying like, Thailand, let's give them $6-7 million to start academies and so they can focus on the women.
Why would they care about Thailand if they're only cared about the American Federation? The American Federation is not concerned with Thailand.
No, I mean, but the rhetoric that they're sort of putting out is really about growth for everybody.
And
So
it's not really about
but the lawsuit.
It's more emotion. It doesn't really. When you get into the details, you're like, "What are you guys talking about?" It's one of those things.
No.
I'm just kidding, but kind of not.
No, but they want, because it's like the rising tide lifts all boats. I think the U.S. women are heroes to a lot, not just American girls.
And they're the most supported female athletes.
Here's something weird though. Right now, they are making more money than the men for their games.
Yeah.
Part of that is because they get paid less. So if they got paid the same as the men, they would probably make less money.
Exactly. Per
So-
game, they make less money.
No. They would bring in less money profit if they got paid the same as the men. Like, one of the reasons they're so profitable is because of their low pay.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah.
They're not.
I don't think it's right, but
they're
that's
not
one
being
of the things that's
paid.
happening.
They're not being paid fairly to the men. And when we're talking about specifically U.S. soccer, again, the women do make a lot of money for U.S. soccer, but in general, all the collective bargaining agreements, the sponsors, everything is so focused on the men that the women sort of get a little neglected. And in the last 8 years, in the last 2 World Cups, the U.S. women have become superstars. Right? They're activists. They're in your face. They're getting written about. So now they're getting better sponsorships, similar to like what Mia Hamm had. So the main focus is just like, hey, we're not getting our fair shake compared to the U.S. men, not the world, and not
their pay structures are just totally different, though. I mean, the women's team gets paid a biweekly salary guaranteed. If men, they have to stay on the roster to get their pay. So it's just, they need to be paid the same way. Like, it's not just like the pay rate.
Yeah,
it's just how they get paid. It's like it's screwed up altogether to basically fuck them over. So whoever represented them did not really do a great job. They gave them like,
and that's different from the other countries.
What'd you say?
This particular agreement is different from the other countries.
Every country negotiates their own deal with their federation.
Are other countries saying that they have a bad deal too? Compared to the men?
Brazil, for example, is doing kind of the same. But Marta, she's the greatest Brazilian player that ever played. She's when they were eliminated by, I don't know who eliminated Brazil, but
I think it was Sweden.
She was
maybe
crying
I don't remember.
at the interview, just pleading to like the fans and the girls playing back home. She's like, the federation is not going to support us. It's going to be, you guys have to keep playing. You guys need to keep. There's no more Martas. There's no all the other girls that we're like. We need you girls to step it up and put in the work, because we're not going to make it otherwise.
Well, that seems like an organic process, right? Like more girls supporting sports, more girls into sports.
I think a lot of one of the correlations that I found with why some of these teams are much stronger than like Thailand's and these smaller, it's just it comes to where a lot of the more progressive countries, the more rights these women have, the stronger their soccer team.
Yeah. The Iraq national team is not really repping their women.
Yeah, but that's Iraq's problem. That's not a look. Here's okay. So it sounds like there's some issues here, right? Yeah. And it sounds like when you get into the specifics of it, it's like the federation needs to figure out a more equal way to distribute this.
If it wasn't so lowballed, I don't think it would be such an issue. It's just been so just kind of like, don't even worry about it. And
none of this is really in the rhetoric. I'm just want to say that again. It's more like you just hear this equal pay thing, and it's very general. It's like, so they're saying the federation needs to do something a little more fair and pay scale to each team and how they get paid in America, and that seems like that needs to be done. It
Yeah.
seems like that's
and it's plausible. It's not
Yeah.
just like the men are crushing. It's not necessarily that. It's like they need to. It needs to be more fair. I mean, there's issues. Yes, there's issues with pay, but there's issues with like travel. They don't give them the same accommodations that they give to the men. And again, I'm only talking about specifically U.S. soccer. The U.S. women have earned and they've made enough money to be like, yo, you need to take care of us the way you take care of the men.
Right.
That's really all they're saying.
The thing is, like, they have a collective bargaining agreement that the person goes in there and they're
Yeah.
here's how we want to be. That's they need to go back in there and just restructure that.
They will.
Yeah, that's the real issue. So once that all gets done, if they agree to the same thing, it's on them, not on.
No,
the
they because they feel like that U.S. soccer is not like treating them fairly. That's why there is a lawsuit. They haven't really gotten into too much detail publicly because of the lawsuit. So I think a lot of them are.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't agree with that because like you agree to a thing, and it's like I might win the World Cup, but this is what I agreed to. It's like you can get fucked over. You can fuck yourself over if you don't really read the thing.
It's possible.
So,
yeah.
What
it's like-
I think they're doing right now is campaigning for that. So
Right.
for when they start bargaining, so it's just if they just keep quiet until the next bargaining agreement, they're not going to have.
It's
as
a
much
power
leverage.
move.
So
It's
yeah.
also great marketing for individual people. You get on all the news shows when you have something to say.
Yeah.
It's a new thing now where if you come with a cause, you know what I mean, you're going to get some face time.
Sure. I mean, stand-up comics do it, right? It's like
Everyone's doing it.
Clapter and all this activism and all
Everyone's
stuff. Like,
fucking doing it.
Look,
Yeah,
do what you got to
everyone-
do.
Yeah, everyone's coming with a cause and like
It's
fucking-
clapter. That's a great
Because-
way to put it.
Yeah.
Because what he's saying is, it's clapter. Yeah, what he's saying is, he's interesting. It was an agreement that they agreed to. So it's like, yeah, maybe they should have been a little more screwed in about the agreement. It's obviously going to change, and I'll tell you why it's going to change and why they're going to get more. Because this is America, and at the end of the day, we got a lot of problems or whatnot, but we are the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Yep.
And we are still one of the countries that respects rule of law above all else, civil liberties.
Are you sarcastic?
No, I'm being serious. I'm being serious. You know, a lot of times people argue in a vacuum, and that's a problem.
I agree.
Because only one side, only the negative is becomes salient. Only the negative is what people focus on because people argue in this vacuum where they're comparing things to a utopia. And it's nice to remind people that, hey, yeah, we are leading the world in female sports. You know, Serena Williams is an American. You know what I'm saying? Like, the American system supported that domination. You know what I mean? Like, she's an American. She's fucking making more money than most male athletes. Maybe she can make more. I don't want to fucking argue.
She was
that.
also a black girl from Compton playing tennis. It wasn't a breeze. You know what I mean? It wasn't the foundation for her to like excel wasn't, she wasn't pushed through.
I didn't say it wasn't, but
Okay.
she's still a multi-billionaire.
Of course, yes.
With fucking, and that happens here. It's like, so I'm just saying, it's good to, I think people respond better when you just paint. People hate it when you just go like, when you just fucking complain because you're going like, that's not real. It's not real what you're saying. It's not real. You're exaggerating.
Yeah.
You're turning me off because you're just going like, you're going up there and going like, we need to be better. It's like, all right, first of all, when you can mention we need to be better, but why don't you start that sentence by going, we're number one. Not only is the soccer team number one, but the support system is number one in the world. So you can't be better than number one. You can get better than you are now, but it's like, have a little pride in the fact that we're number one.
Okay.
That we support our female athletes number one.
That's fair.
You're telling me I'm not a soccer hooligan. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm listening to what you're telling me. You're telling me we support our female soccer players more than any other fucking country.
Yes.
That includes Brazil and Portland. Portland's leading the way in soccer fucking. Portland's number one. All right, so the solution is obviously fucking get rid of Oregon, make it its own country because we want to get rid of them anyway, and then they'll be number one and on their own. No, anyway, this is an interesting thing. So ultimately, it sounds like they deserve a little equal pay, and but they're not saying. I get what they're saying. It's getting lost in the message a little bit. I think a little people have a misunderstanding about it. They're not saying we should get paid equally in the free market to men, unless the sports become as popular as men. Because that would be fucking ridiculous.
God forbid, Giannis. I don't even want to think of a world that way.
I mean, look, I support women's sports, but if I'm watching a WNBA game, I'm doing it as a social service.
No, man.
I mean, listen,
They've-
I enjoy getting on the bus with the players afterwards, but
They've earned it. They've earned it.
Yeah.
And there's so much money that the federation makes off the women's game.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, you're just.
It's just look. Nobody gets upset when a wide receiver outplays their contract. This is sort of what they're doing. They're making their team more money than what they initially agreed upon, and they're like, "Yo, this is not now. It's not what
So
we
they're-
did back then. Is not going to apply right now."
okay, so basically what they're doing is a screwed in move. I applaud it.
Yeah.
They're being screwed in. And then the other side, I got to also applaud. They're being screwed in. They're, making themselves more victims than they are for marketing so they can get on fucking to expand their sport even more in themselves.
Yeah, but-
I mean, because make no mistake, Rapanapu is going to be on a fucking Wheaties box. She's going to be a Wheaties box with purple hair, having a shirt going, be better.
But it's
There's going to be a merch line that says be better, and it's going to be on onthevolley.com. And it's going to be in the logo of some rap band that he should be sued for.
But I get
Still think she's Paul Hooper. So.
I get annoyed because people are always, the argument like, oh, why they don't deserve equal pay and like men, blah, blah, blah. But then people are so comfortably like, well, FIFA, oh, that's a corrupt organization. Can't trust anybody there. But then when it comes to equal pay, they're like, well, you know what? Maybe FIFA's got a point. You know what I mean? They look on the bright side. They start to defend these corrupt organizations that we all agree are corrupt. But as soon as women want to be paid
FIFA.
equally, it's like, oh, no, let's look at the market. And that's what's right. It's hypocritical.
Yeah, well, the women need to get back in there, change that agreement. They're making more money. They're exceeding expectation. The
Yes.
agreement's bad, and that's what it is.
Yeah, and they'll do it.
So this
They'll
is
do it.
basically just a bad business decision or a bad deal as women's soccer continues to grow. Which, by the way, the United States is leading the way. We have the best female athletes.
Yeah.
Some of them have been made stars and made multimillionaires in sports that don't really deserve, based on the marketplace. No, I'm being serious.
Respectfully disagree.
But the women's leagues in
Oh,
other
come
countries
on.
are doing a lot better
Yes,
than the
it's,
U.S.
it's growing in Spain. Spain,
So we can do
Barcelona.
better. Outside of Portland, we can do better.
Yes,
Without a doubt.
But don't look at me in the straight face and say, if it wasn't for fucking Nike and it wasn't for marketing, Mia Hamm wouldn't have been a star. I mean, the girl could score goals, but they
she-
made her a star.
But she earned it. Did Jordan? He dunked the ball quite a bit for
I
Nike to
mean,
show
let's
interest.
look at Jordan's fucking bottom line versus Mia Hamm's fucking sports bras she's selling.
But relatively,
I mean, I'm wearing Jordans yesterday, not today, but I have 4 pair of Jordans. I don't have Mia Hamm's fucking. What is she? What is she selling? Sports bra?
Why was Jordan able to become Michael Jordan?
Because men have testosterone. They like sports.
I
There's
agree.
more
White players back then.
Women like to nurture. That's what it is. They're not that interested. Even
Okay.
even,
All right, Gavin McGinnis,
no,
relax.
No. Obviously, that's a generalization.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm joking. But generally, the truth is, the facts are more men watch female sports than women watch.
I
It's
don't know
true.
that. I don't know.
Well,
that.
it's just true.
Okay,
I
sure,
mean,
if you say so.
women's tennis is supported by male viewership,
I
not
wonder-
female share.
I wonder why.
For soccer, for
All that
women's soccer in
grunting.
the U.S., I really think that it's the support because one thing that a lot of people don't know is that the youth program in the United States, there's more kids playing soccer in the United States than any other country in the world.
Yeah.
Soccer at a youth level, the problem or the disconnect is that once they get into high school or right before high school, the kids don't see. Well, now they're starting to stick to soccer, where before they're like, I'm 6'3" and I'm gonna try to. The football coach keeps asking me, and I have a brighter future. Now it's becoming to where the boys are able to stay, and same for the girls. Now
There's a path.
the kids are
a real path.
staying in soccer now more so than they ever have, and that's where I think it's just kind of like the tide is just turning, and like now it's just time to they had a bad deal and they're gonna have to just get compensated at some
Did
point.
you guys ever want to play sports?
I definitely did not play sports.
I have all brothers and my dad's a coach, so I play a lot of sports.
Yeah.
No. What did you play?
Basketball, swimming, and softball. No soccer.
No,
That was
sorry.
the one sport that I quit.
Yeah. Look, eventually, hopefully, women love sports as much as men. That's great. You know,
That'd be lovely.
I like a lot of stuff that's not typically masculine.
Okay.
You know, like men. No. It's women are. Everything's evolving. I just hope that I hope it's great. I hope everyone's equal. I hope women watch more sports. I hope women get paid more. I hope that the soccer team gets what they deserve. I hope more people start watching soccer and everything like that.
Well, it will require more investment from FIFA so that the games are marketed and more people. You didn't even know there was a professional women's league. You know what I mean? Like it requires that kind of effort.
I didn't know it was a men's
all,
professional league.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I barely even knew there was a male's professional league, so that's not fair. And also, it's a little bit of that, yeah. But that's my point. Is like people need to stop with this kind of like extreme, like it's this one thing. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's
not
like
at all.
I don't watch hockey either. But guess what? I watched when I was a fucking kid and they beat the Russians. I watched that one and I was excited and into it.
Yeah.
For the same reason I was into it in 98, 99. It's like I'm not as a man trying to hold women back. I'm not as a man like nobody's doing anything. Nobody's really doing anything.
Well, that's the problem.
No,
That's kind of what.
no, it's not the problem. No, it's the solution. It's really like it's like people are open and ready to hear it. Like if you inspire people, and your performance inspires people, most people are gonna hop on. But if you're going and just fucking being negative, people are gonna go like, you're turning me off.
I would say more people
There's no
have been
war.
inspired than detractors or
Listen,
negative.
this
people.
is a message to soccer hooligans, and I think I'm pretty right about this. There's no war on women's soccer happening on. They have a bad agreement with the fucking federation, but the public loves those fucking teams. The public's behind them, and I want to bang fucking Mia Hamm. And the other new one, Alex Morgan, you can catch it. I'm sorry, this is a free episode. My wife is listening. I'm just joking. Wei Zhongjing, I'm just kidding. No, the people love these teams, and it's great. And they are. I love women's sports. I've always loved women's sports. I think it's sexy as hell that women play all sports. Soccer and tennis are two sports that I think for women's sports are fun to watch, probably the most. Basketball, I just don't see it happening.
Sure, it's not
unless women find it interesting. You know what I mean? Because it's a high flying sport.
Sure.
I like women's volleyball.
Okay.
I like their outfits, but I also like the sport.
Do you call the men sexy when you watch them play as well?
Yeah, sometimes. Chris Googles them without their shirt on. Christian, I'm not supposed to notice. Is that the game we're playing now? Is that really what we're doing? Are we just lying? Are we lying because we're so fucking Portland? I don't even see them. I don't care. They could be wearing jeans. I don't see it. Are you telling me that's how you watch? You don't think?
I'm kidding. I'm just joking. Yeah.
Women volleyball players, there's a few hot ones,
Very.
and you can't help it. And guess what? Guess what, soccer fans? Women like that.
Oh, sure.
Women like when you acknowledge that you want to bang them out and coco them. They want to be cocoed. Everyone wants
while
to be
they're playing.
While
they
they're
love
playing.
it.
While they're playing. Everyone likes to be sexy. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I mean, Serena's a big feminist. I've seen a lot of her photo shoots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not in the library. They're not in Amish.
Sex appeal. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of these women soccer players photo shoots too. They're, nobody put a gun to their head and said, you know what, act sexy.
Well, maybe in some countries.
Maybe in some countries, but not the good old US today because we respect women. Yeah, exactly. We respect women to a certain point. And that point stops at women's basketball. No, it's a joke. Anyway, equal pay, I support it in this context. Overall, if the market ends up dictating it, of course they should get it.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? But right now, it's what it is. Cool. So, yeah, and congratulations to the women's team. Everything on this podcast is a joke.
Here's not a joke.
Huh? Oh, here's not a joke. Yeah. Sorry, guys. You're just going to have to sit through this. 9th Street Auto Collision. Nora Cupcakes Company. Another free plug. Thank you guys for coming down.
Thank you.
Where in Middletown is it?
Right on Main Street.
Right on Main, of course. Every
USA.
town has a Main Street.
Yep.
Middletown, Connecticut. Go if you guys do weddings, you guys do whatever binges. If you're breakups, if you're having going through a breakup,
Yep.
or you're getting married,
Or
if you're going through a
divorced.
breakup, just go face fuck a bunch of cupcakes and put on Stella Got Her Groove Back.
If you need a cake representing the women's wage gap, they can make that for you.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll do that. You guys actually will. If you did a pseudo penis cake, you'll probably do any cake request.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
We have.
So go in there and get wild. Tell them the Hyenas sent you, and whatever. I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear like a fan order a cake from you. That'd be fun.
They find us in locations. They'll say, Are you a hyena?
Yeah.
We get messages.
You
and
do.
Stuff. Yeah.
Nora Cupcakes Company.
Yep.
You guys were on to us early, and we appreciate it. Like you were in as soon as you heard Chris the Young Guys, we fucked. Did you hear the Christina Hutchinson episode?
Yes.
You suck my dick, babe?
So good.
Can't get hard unless you suck my dick, babe. All right, we're brought to you by Nice Street Auto Collision. These guys are out there in Huntington, Long Island. 631-351-5300. These guys will crack open your car and clean it out. CBD Script. CBDscript.com. Go to their website, Hyenas15, to get 15% off your total offer. These guys, you know what it is. CBD oil. It's the best. You know? They got no fumes. They don't use any chemicals in their shit. It's 100% whatever they pay me to say. It's good for you. It's all great. Just buy it. Go to CBD Script. They're actually at least offering a discount. 15% off. You put Hyenas 15. Was that the promo code? Yeah. Hyenas 15 to get 15% off your total offer is CBD Script at cbdscript.com. Then we got Fedora Rajpaska. He's a little comic who snuck into this level. Sri Lankan comic in Berlin. Go to his website, livefromthesandbox.com. Follow him on Instagram, Fedora Rajpaska, on all his social media, and listen to the Anything Goes podcast. Promoted. And then, of course, we love this guy almost as much as we love Nora Cupcakes. A lot of these people may cancel now and be like, you know what? All I got to do is just bring the hyenas something.
What's Fedora going to do?
What if Nutrition Made Fun that Matt Koch just shows him, like, I got you guys smoothies. Like, can I just come on the show? No.
Like, no, your eyes are too far apart.
Yeah, they're too far apart. Yeah, this is only, yeah. So Nutrition Made Fun. Matt Koch, follow him on Instagram, Nutrition Made Fun. His website's right there in the description. Go follow him. The kid is great, man. He's got a lot of tips. He's become your nutrition coach and help you get healthier. And he makes it fun. He really does. His posts, I read them all. I end up reading his posts. And
He really is good at what he does.
Yeah, it's like kind of he reels me in. Like I don't want to read them, and then I end up reading because, to be honest, they're like 8 paragraphs. Yeah. And then I always read to the end because I'm always thinking like this is a little long, but he always says it in such an interesting way.
Yeah, I mean,
first of all, he lies and says one of my clients is down 60. I'm like, this kid's screwed in. He's a good marketer because every one of his clients is 80 pounds. You ever go, 80 pounds? One of my clients who's 80 pounds down. I'm like, you know what? Good marketing. Good marketing that all your clients somehow have lost mysteriously 80 pounds. But, yeah, go to Nutrition Made Fun. Matt Koch, we love you, man. And, of course, I was about to say, from the beginning, he's been with us. HealthyHappySmile.com, at Healthy Smile Rock Hill. You know who it is, Dr. Harvey Spencer Jr. and his wife. I mean, they definitely bang in the office. You know, my parents work together, too, but that probably working together and living together is probably tough. Yeah. Harvey Spencer Jr. is one of our early He's a black dentist in South Carolina. The world has changed! And him and his wife have a practice, and they got next generation gaming for kids and adults. They crack open your teeth and clean them out. Go to their website. I guess if you're in South Carolina, or if you want to take a trip and you're a Hyenas fan, do it and fucking film it and send it to us. Support all our sponsors, even if you got to cross state lines to do it. And make a video of it, because we'll take it and put it on our Patreon so we can make some money off of you. Screw it in. Our fucking merch is coming. It's almost here. So excited. Those designs are great. Thank you.
I appreciate
Elvis.
You considering us for it.
Oh man, you're the best. I mean, anything Alexis says. I mean, why wouldn't I trust Alexis? You know what? You're the reason why it's successful.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. Alexis knows his pizza.
He very much.
And he's a soccer fan. And me and him have been arguing for a while, and I love Alexis. He was invited to my wedding. He was at my wedding.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm sorry you weren't. We just haven't spoken in a while.
We haven't spoken in a while.
Yeah.
We lost touch.
We lost touch. It's sad. I was on your podcast a while ago that nobody listened to. And we had to take that clip down because I was a little misogynistic on that clip.
That is true.
Well, it wasn't actually misogyny. I think I mentioned an ex-girlfriend.
Yes, I used to do a relationship podcast like maybe 6 years ago that Yannis was on. Yeah.
You know what's funny? Like, our generation is the generation that had to learn the hard way that the internet's forever. Mm-hmm. Like, these kids coming up behind us are going to be such good politicians. They're going to be like, you want to be on my podcast? They're going to be like, what's your podcast? Like, you know what I mean? Can I bring my lawyer? It's going to be a more screwed in situation. We were the fucking generation that's like, yeah, I'm a big FF. And then it's just up there forever. And so me and Chrissy, because we do this podcast, can only get so big before we get torn down. But we'll always have a home in Nora Cupcakes Company. You guys will always let us in and give us some sweets to make us feel better if we're sad.
Yes.
Appreciate it. So thank you. OnTheVolley.com. It's coming soon.
On the volleyapparel.com.
On the Volley Apparel. I always fucked it up. OnTheVolleyApparel.com. Actually, there's going to be a link right on HistoryHyenas.com. Get those shirts. Everyone's been wanting them. Listen to the Cooligans.
Yes. Follow us at Soccer Cooligans. And yeah, we like I just said, we just interviewed Giuseppe Rossi. We've interviewed all these sort of American soccer stars that you definitely do not care about. But if you are a fan of soccer, trust me, it's the funniest soccer podcast you're going to listen to.
Yeah, and I love soccer. Soccer's getting bigger, and it's great. And this podcast is getting very popular. So go support it. Go listen to the Cooligans. And, of course, Nora Cupcakes Companies. Thank you for coming again. This is a different day, right?
Thank you.
Even though we're all wearing the same clothes.
Thank you.
And at ISIS, where can they find you? Where can they find you at 42nd Street handing out your mixtape?
Z the Dropout on Instagram.
Yeah. And come see me in San Antonio this week. If you listen to this Thursday, tomorrow with Mike.
When is this one coming out?
Yeah, we never know with ISIS. Could be 3 weeks from now.
Well, we did 2 episodes today, so one of them will be out.
Oh,
this
shit,
week.
that's right. Yeah.
So either you already did see us or you're about to see us.
Yeah, thanks for coming to see us in San Antonio. This already happened. I'm sorry I bombed. And,
Sorry I ate your chicken wings.
Yeah, I didn't mean to offend you guys. I apologize. I just didn't know that you guys, if I
You
said
didn't know the Alamo was that serious.
I just didn't know that if I said I got a gun, everyone was going to take out theirs. But I should have known that's how Texas is.
Follow me on Instagram at Mike V. Suarez.
At Mike V. Suarez.
Oh, and I have a podcast coming out in August called Yikes.
Yikes with, but it's not out yet.
No.
So you're fucking plugging nothing.
Well, I mean, who knows when this is going to be out?
Yeah, so that's true. This could come out whenever. So whenever, go listen to, what is it, OnTheVolley.com?
On the Volley Apparel.
On the Volley Apparel. Look, every time, this is what we're going to do, Isis. Every time Mike plugs his new podcast, we're just going to repeat and go OnTheVolleyApparel.com. Go listen to Mike Emoji's Face new podcast at OnTheVolleyApparel.com. Just kidding. Go listen to Mary Rapina P's podcast. Bye.